What is up, guys, and we are back with another reaction video. All right, guys, we are back with Am I the Asshole? Right, I love these videos. You're gonna get more of these regardless anyway. I love reacting to them. So guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and let's get into it.
Am I the a-hole for asking my husband to cancel his bros only trip to help me with our newborn after he promised he would? Absolutely.
Okay, what do we think, guys? Off the bat, what do we think? You definitely are, right? I already agree with this person, but let's see the reasoning. Let's see what's happening here.
Cancel his bros only trip to help me with our newborn.
Oh wait, well, no, sorry, not the person who's asking it, the husband who didn't help. But let me rephrase that. So
he promised he would? Absolutely. You want to cancel a bro trip? This situation has caused a lot of tension between my husband and I, and now I'm questioning whether I'm being unreasonable. So she gave birth to their child. She's 30, 2 months ago. Being a first-time mom has been both beautiful and overwhelming. My husband, 32, was incredibly supportive during the pregnancy and promised that after Olivia was born, he would be there for me every step of the way, especially during those challenging first few months. Before Olivia was born, Jake and his friends had been planning a bros-only trip for the summer, a week-long vacation to a cabin in the mountains for hiking, fishing, and bonding. When the trip was being discussed, I reminded Jake that Olivia would only be a few months old, and we would be deep in the newborn phase. He reassured me that if things got too tough, he would cancel the trip to help me out, and I trusted him. Will that trust be rewarded? I have a bad feeling. Now that Olivia is here, things have been harder than I anticipated. That's what she said. 2024. It's almost 2025. And I just jotted that's what she said. I thought I had evolved. Between the sleepless nights, breastfeeding struggles, and just trying to adjust to motherhood, I have been feeling overwhelmed. Jake has been helpful, but I can tell he's excited about this trip, which is coming up next month. Last week, I asked Jake if he could consider canceling the trip, reminding him of his promise. I told him that I'm struggling and that having him gone for a whole week would be really tough on me. He seemed surprised and a bit hurt that I was asking him to cancel. He has said that he's been looking forward to this trip for months and that he needs a break too. Oh God, ooh. Listen, I might slip up every now and again when I talk about like pregnancy, that sort of thing. But one thing I do know is, as the guy, you don't say, hey, this is overwhelming for me, I need a break. You need it less than she does, I can tell you that much. He also pointed out that his parents live nearby and could help if I needed support while he was away. Okay, that's a point. I understand that Jake needs a break and wants to spend time with his friends, but I can't help feeling like this is a time when I really need him by my side. I tried to explain that while I appreciate his parents' help, it's not the same as having him here. Jake said that I'm being unfair by asking him to cancel the trip after all the planning that went into it, and that I need to trust him to make sure I'm supported even if he's not physically there. Trust him that she's gonna have his support while he's gone. How does that make sense? Trust me, babe, I'm gonna be right there with you. In spirit. Now we're having a bit of a standoff. Some of my friends think I should let him go, saying that it's important for him to have some time away, especially after all the stress of becoming a new dad. But others agree it's too soon for him to take off for a week and that he should prioritize being home with me and Olivia. So am I the a-hole for asking my husband to cancel his bros only trip to help me with our newborn after he promised he would?
Now, already pausing off the bat, I think. Okay, so there's a lot of factors. Look, firstly, if you look, I'm 21, right, guys? I'm 21, making never had a kid before. Now, my initial answer would probably yeah, because it's your kid as well. I mean, what, 2-3 months in? I mean, I would say, look, I guess you can't plan when babies come, obviously, right? You can't really, but you should know around about when they're gonna come, right? Or at least you should, you know, around about when they're gonna come. So maybe bad time to plan a boys trip anyway, right? Bad time, especially you because you probably knew your girl was gonna give birth soon, right? So I'll be honest, as much as yeah, guys trips are great, and obviously I don't know his situation, I don't know how much he works, but it looks like he probably does need the break, so I understand that. But at the same time, you know, if your wife has just given birth, you're probably just gonna have to count. I guess that's just life. I don't know. Maybe I'm inexperienced. People let me know what you think in the comments, especially if you've got kids. Again, I'm only 21, so I know that my age might play a factor in this. But even then, I feel like I'd probably just have to cancel the trip or be like, guys, go without me, because, you know, it's my kid at the end of the day. But
And we have an edit. So where do we stand to begin? My initial thoughts before we read further into the story is it's priorities, like newborns.
oh, my bad. I didn't realize there was more. Sorry.
Yeah, like that's the number one thing, right? If your wife needs you, you gotta. That's the number one. Doesn't matter. That said, having other people around who are willing to take on the burden in your absence, like your parents, Like that sounds like a viable solution. I don't know. Is she being a little selfish by if there is a solution and everyone gets what they need? When thinking about it, I lean on her side just because she's gonna go through a lot. She has been going through a lot, and now she continues to. It feels unfair that you're gonna go off and have a blast for a week, and she really wants you by her side.
I mean, look, to be fair, it is only a week, so I guess I could see his argument, like, oh, I'm gonna be gone a week, then I'm literally gonna be back. So maybe I can see where he's coming from, because it's like, look, we planned it a while. My parents are gonna be there for a week, and I'm literally gonna be back. So maybe actually, I won't call her an arsehole for an opinion. Definitely not. I know it's I'm by the arsehole. I won't call her that. Definitely not. But
You should probably just do that. But if the parents can step in and help out to the degree that he would help out, I see his side, certainly. Hey everyone, I wanted to give a quick update after reading through most of the replies. I was honestly overwhelmed by the support. A lot of you suggested that I should also take a week off, letting Jake stay with Olivia to get a break for myself. I don't think that's the problem. I mean, if she needs it, I think she could take it, but that doesn't feel like it's helpful at all. And she doesn't want to, basically. That's what this paragraph's about. I've been debating whether or not that doesn't feel like it's helpful at all. And she doesn't want to, basically.
Appreciate the sentiments behind this session, but there are a couple of reasons why it's not realistic for me right now. First of all, I'm breastfeeding, so being away from Olivia for that long would be really difficult logistically, okay, obviously, but beyond that, there's something that I need to work on. I just don't feel comfortable being away from my baby yet. I know it's not healthy to feel like I can't have her out of my I can't have her out of my sight. I mean, most mums are like that, aren't they, when they first give it, but I can't help it. I guess it's just that new mom anxiety that's really hard to shake. Yeah, I get that. I mean, especially if you're breastfeeding as well, you don't want to be away. Yeah, when a mother first gives birth, they want to be with the kid all the time, so I understand that it would be harder for you, especially in the first, I guess, month or two. I don't know personally, but I guess it would be hard in the first month or two.
That's what this paragraph's about. I've been debating whether or not to show Jake this thread. Here's a quick little piece of advice for everybody. Don't show. Because I don't think it's ever gonna feel good to be like, hey, yeah, I went to the internet and I told a bunch of random people and I posed it from my point of view and they all support me, so what's up? Number one, it's not gonna feel good that you are seeking random people's opinions. There's gonna be some context that the other person, or the person you're showing the thread to, they're gonna think something was omitted or important that you didn't bring up, so it's gonna almost like nullify a lot of the responses. I feel like it's just a lose-lose. I don't think showing is a good idea. I'm willing to compromise and let him go on the trip. But I think a whole week is too much. I'm leaning towards suggesting that he limit the trip to a maximum of 3 nights so that he can still have some time away with his friends but not be gone for an entire week. That's a reasonable compromise. Update. We got another. So that was an edit.
Yes.
Now we got an update. Okay. Hey everyone, I just wanted to share another update after having a very long and emotional talk with Jake. I won't get into every detail of our conversation, but I'll touch on the important points. We're divorcing. Wouldn't that be crazy? After putting Olivia to bed, I went straight to bed myself, feeling exhausted. Jake was already asleep, but for some reason, the weight of everything hit me all at once. I started crying uncontrollably. Yeah, this might not be a trip thing. This might be just like an other thing. My sobbing woke Jake up. Be more considerate and sob quieter, please. I admitted something I've been reluctant to say out loud, that Jake hasn't been as involved as I thought he would be. This is one of the—
Okay, hold on. My sobbing woke up Jay, and he immediately asked me what was wrong. I told him that I was just tired, but then I opened up about my anxiety and how I'd been feeling about his trip and being left alone with Olivia.
The biggest fears when we found to say out loud that Jake hasn't been as involved as I thought he would be. This is one of the biggest fears when we found out we were having a baby. That's incredible. Okay, this is how I feel like a lot of issues start. It's like it's not really about that thing. It's about something else. For context, Jake has a rocky relationship with his own dad. My mother-in-law remarried when Jake was in middle school, and his dad wasn't very present in his life. Jake has expressed to me before that becoming a father was scary for him because he's afraid of being a bad one, just like his dad. When I vented to him about all of this, because he's afraid of being a bad one, just like his dad.
Sorry, guys. When he first told me that, I thought it would make him into a great father because it showed how much he cared about being a good dad long before we were ever pregnant. Yeah. So what she's saying is, when he said you had a fear of being a bad dad, she thought that it would make him a better one. He'd be like, I want to be a really good one. So yeah, it's just because he's skimming through the thing, just in case you guys don't know the full. Yeah.
To me before that becoming a father was scary for him because he's afraid of being a bad one, just like his dad. When I vented to him about all of this, at first he tried to defend himself. I think that's natural. Your defense mechanisms rise up. He admitted that he's been freaking out about having a baby for so long and just didn't want to tell me. He said he didn't want to stress me out while I was pregnant because he knows how much I've always wanted to be a mother. Hearing him say that made me feel guilty.
Yeah, I'm sorry, right? I'm seeing a problem here, right? You saying to her, you know how much she wants to be a mother. If you didn't want to, if you were like unsure about being a dad, you should have made that clear before you even decided to do the deed without the protection. Like, this might be more of a him problem. I don't know. Let's let it continue. But this seems like maybe he is the arsehole, literally. Because not the arsehole, but like, if you're having second thoughts or having fears, but you should discuss that before, right? I mean.
See, like I hadn't seen how much he's been struggling internally. I realized that if he was going to keep pulling away, like
hold on, struggling internally. I had tried to convince him that he was going to be a great dad when he had this conversation long ago, and now it all felt more complicated.
Seen how much he's been struggling internally. I realized that if he was going to keep pulling away like this, I didn't know if I could handle it. So I asked him, is this what our life is going to look like from now on? Me and Olivia and you away? Because if it is, Jake, then I don't think we can continue like this.
Wow.
I threw the divorce thing out as a humor joke. But then again, she's not necessarily insinuating that. I don't think we continue like this. Doesn't necessarily mean divorce, but it's not a great thing to hear. Jake told me to calm down and assure, that's always nice to hear. Hey, you calm down. You're acting irrational, calm down. And assure
me, just relax.
that he wasn't going anywhere. Then he got really emotional. He even started to tear up. He's a man and he started to cry. I try to be toxic in every direction so that you can never really pin me down, you know? He said he didn't want to turn into his dad and that he hadn't realized that going on this trip could be a preliminary step toward becoming the ascetary father he feared he might be. He apologized for not considering me and Olivia as much as he should have. This is an incredible conversation. Long story short, Jake called his friends and told them he wouldn't be able to make the trip. He even started planning a little family getaway for the three of us next year when Olivia is a bit older. It was
You see, this is what happens with guys, you know, when they get families, they just no more time for the boys.
Tough decision, but I feel like we're on the same page now, and I'm hopeful that things will get better from here. Look at that. Little communication fixes the problem. Who would have thought? I read the first couple of paragraphs of this one, and I was like, this is going in the video. I had no idea where this was turning, and this is incredible. So look at that. It solved itself just with a little honest communication. You gotta say the scary thing sometimes, and you gotta talk it out, especially when you're gonna try to parent together. Even if he didn't have the fears of, you know, the whole being an absentee father, you gotta prioritize in life, and family comes first. And if your wife needs you, especially after, you know, having a child, you gotta be there. Now,
yeah, not putting Vin Diesel there is crazy, but yeah, well, it's like.
If you had like great parents who like lived nearby and could like stay for a week, I think there's room for a discussion there. He needs a break. That's all I'm seeing in the comments. I knew it. Even I called it. I was like, hey, don't say that, dude. Am I the asshole for not giving?
Yeah, look, guys, I'm not gonna take this guy's whole video. I'm gonna react to one. Look, my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on the whole thing. My thoughts is, look, now that I look deeper into that, it was definitely something wrong with that guy. I mean, yeah, because now that I think deeply about it, it's like, yeah, the fear of being a father. But hey, look, he cancelled the trip. I think the best thing was for him to cancel that trip and really lock in with his family, definitely. I didn't know it was that bad, but reading on, yeah, that's something to do with him more than her. And to be honest, her worries probably come from him not seeming as enthusiastic about it. I mean, because even him saying, I know you were excited about the kid, like he didn't even say we. You know, and again, obviously, we don't know his side as well. We're only getting it from her perspective, but that's what I would say about that. That's the problem with these posts all the times. They're fun to react to, but it's like it's only from one person's perspective. But look, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is she the arsehole? Is he the arsehole? Am I wrong? Is the creator wrong? But if you want more of these, come back. And peace. I'm out.